Yes, it's already been broken by EWN and by their political reporter Clement Manyatela that Ethel Trollip has also indicated in this FedEx meeting right now that he also wants out. He lost out to the Federal Council chairperson position to Helen Zille over the weekend. You know that history of political battles between Ethel Trollip and Helen Zille over the years. You'd remember that Congress of the Democratic Alliance when Tony Leon stepped down, when Ethel Trollip contested Helen Zille, he lost out to Helen Zille. So his pretty much his entire political life post-democracy has lost many political battles to Helen Zille. And this time around, he seems to be siding with Mmusi Maimane because Mmusi Maimane backed Ethel Trollip for last weekend's Federal Council meeting for Ethel Trollip to become the chairperson of Federal Council. That couldn't come into fruition. So Mmusi Maimane and Ethel Trollip are together and they are moving as one. And Ethel Trollip is saying, if this happens, I also want out of the leadership of the Democratic Alliance. Interestingly, the review report by the Democratic Alliance says that Ethel Trollip's position must also be reviewed and moved and not be in the leadership structure of the Democratic Alliance, which basically tells you that after Mmusi Maimane has resigned or been removed as the leader of the Democratic Alliance, the next person whom was going to be removed at the Congress of the Democratic Alliance was Ethel Trollip, on the virtue that that report is adopted and the leadership structure of the Democratic Alliance is changed. That would have meant that Ethel Trollip's position would not have been up for grabs or contestation or in the leadership structure of the Democratic Alliance in that Congress. So it's a very heated meeting. And to quote Solimalati, the spokesperson of the Democratic Alliance, this is a crisis.
Yeah, it definitely is a crisis, and it looks like everything that was said in that report is now playing out in this room behind us. And of course, those leaders, if you are just joining us, are right behind us in a heated debate, trying to decide on the future of DA leader Mmusi Maimane. We're still waiting for that media briefing to start any moment now. We will take it live on the lead on eNCA, of course. And Samkele, let's talk about this media briefing that's been delayed and an exodus of leaders, as you said. Ethel Trollip now confirming this to another media organization. It looks like it's going to happen.
Well, Sean, I wouldn't say that he confirmed it himself, but obviously everybody has his sources. I've spoken to my own sources. They've confirmed what EWN has already broken, that Ethel Trollip is indicating in the meeting that he will also move, provided that Mmusi Maimane steps down as the leader of the Democratic Alliance. They can't go against that panel, that report that was instigated by FedEx of the Democratic Alliance, the panel review report of the leadership of the Democratic Alliance, its performance, the internal workings of the political party. Speaking to Zillenator Helen Zille this morning, she did say that the meeting she was having with Mmusi Maimane in the morning was to discuss the implementation of the recommendations of this report that were adopted by Federal Council. We understand that Helen Zille is the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance. In essence, she is the engine of the Democratic Alliance who runs the day-to-day business of this political formation, which is rather imploding at this point in time. So she wants to implement those recommendations. In the words of James Self, who's quoted in the report, he says that the leader has to abide by the report of Tony Leon, because it was commissioned by the Federal Executive of the Democratic Alliance. Two men have already fallen on their swords, James Staff and Paul Bowie, the former CEO of the Democratic Alliance. The last man standing is Mmusi Maimane. So if he goes ahead with his planned resignation, that should tell you that there's a crisis in the Democratic Alliance, and he's not the only one to leave the political party. You look at this irony and contrast. You've got Herman Mashaba standing up on a podium yesterday, literally punching the Democratic and the Alliance in the face on Monday, and leaving it bleeding, and saying, with Mmusi Maimane standing on the podium, Herman Mashaba, personally, you are my hero. The very same man who just denigrated your party.
Yeah, and I remember them holding fists together up in the air in the end as well. So Mmusi Maimane, we're going to speak to you a little later as well.